back, everybody, to Awaken the Best You with Misty Springer, the beautiful host in front of me, and I'm your co-host, Anna Levin. Today, we are talking about how do I stay motivated? This is a beautiful topic.
Yeah, I think one that is so applicable, and I'm really excited about this topic because this is what I talk with women about all day long. And you know, as a woman myself, it's what I deal with also. How do I stay motivated? How do I keep moving towards my goals when the fear comes up, or the negative thoughts come up, or
the interruptions,
the schedules, the distractions. Yeah, like for me right now, it's building my business, and so a lot of times I'll find myself like just the other day, I was writing a talk, and this is a talk I was super excited about. I was really motivated and jazzed, but it's also stepping into more. And so stepping into more means that there's fear there. And it means that there's those thoughts of, oh, can I really do this? Does anybody really want to hear what I have to say? And, you know, those thoughts, they're kind of running in the background. They're kind of that white noise. So sometimes you don't even hear it. All of a sudden, though, what I do hear is, gosh, I think I need to go do the laundry.
Yeah.
Or wow, all of like my inbox on my computer is so full right now. I need to empty out my entire email inbox, so it's those
because you know how to do that really well.
And exactly.
So, right? I know how to do the laundry, and I'm going to feel good about it because I'm doing something and I'm helping my family and it needs to be done, as opposed to sitting here with the uncomfortableness of, I don't really know what this is going to mean if it, absolutely.
Exactly. So so, that's why we run away. That's why we don't keep the promises that we make to ourselves. And so, it's a tricky business trying to navigate those distractions and those thoughts. When we are present and aware, it's definitely much easier.
And how do we change that? Because that is so real for many of us, like that whole distraction and interruption. I mean, I don't know how many times I get interrupted, and I'm a person, for example, that I need to be alone in order to gather my thoughts. And, like that's how I've always been like that, because I'm very sensitive to, and just my energy always wants to give. So for me to achieve something, I need to kind of like be alone. And then you get interrupted, and then my train of thought gets interrupted. So I can totally relate to, how do I stay motivated, right?
Yeah.
So what are some of the tools that we can use to, not get frustrated and, just stay
well,
motivated?
I think you just hit the nail on the head right there, is not getting frustrated, because oftentimes what we fall into is like, why am I distracted right now? This is ridiculous. I need to get focused on this. I need to be doing this. Or why didn't I get anything done today? Why am I not doing the things that I said I was going to do? I told myself I would never eat sugar again, and look at me. Now I'm eating 10 cookies in the pantry. And that negative talk actually keeps us in the self-sabotage. So I remember one of my clients, I was working with her on body image and emotional eating. And she said, I don't want to like myself, because if I like myself, then I'm not going to be motivated to change. And I remember feeling the exact same way when I was going through struggles with my body image and emotional eating. I remember just going through a total binge, and at the end of that binge feeling so disgusted with myself, and so like, you told yourself you would never do this again, and look, here you are, totally, you feel disgusting, you look disgusting, all these thoughts are going in my head. And I remember at that point thinking, I need to go stand on the scale, because if I stand on the scale right now, it's going to say a number that I don't like. And that's going to motivate me tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to be better. Tomorrow I'm going to get rid of this binge eating. Tomorrow is a new day. I'm going to do it. And so I did. I went and stood on that scale just so that I could feel that much worse about myself. And does it work?
No.
Does it ever work? No, because in that moment, and I think we have to back up and ask why. Why is it that we beat ourselves up in those moments? Mm-hmm. And I believe that there's always a positive intention to our thoughts and our actions. We may need to update those thoughts and actions, but the intention is always good. And so if I were to look back on my younger self and see that hurting woman who so desperately wanted to change and didn't know how to do it, then the reason that I was beating myself up was because I so desperately wanted to change. I knew I was meant for more. I knew that there was something more, that I should be showing up for myself in integrity, keeping the promises that I made to myself. I wanted that so badly. I was trying to find whatever way I could to get there. And the only way I knew was
to call your attention, right?
Yeah, to call my attention to it. And the only path I knew to get there was through beating myself up.
I think many of us are more comfortable with self-abuse and we don't really know what self-love looks like. You know, we all talk about self-love, and it's a very, modern topic, and it's a necessary topic. However, I think it's important to actually, go deeper into why we do what we do. And I've been thinking about this a lot, like self-sabotage and the lack of self-motivation, the frustration. Why, right? When in reality, I could choose, I'm free to choose any other reaction. I could say like, okay, great, I'm gonna take a break while I'm being pulled by the kids because they need help with homework. And then I can just resume. But instead, I choose to, oh my gosh, you see, and get frustrated. Because I am more, like maybe subconsciously, I'm more comfortable with sabotaging myself. I'm more comfortable with abusing myself, because that is a form of abuse. And I know it's a strong word, but I think that the more honest we are with ourselves, then the more empowered we are to stay motivated and to choose differently.
Yeah, I love that. The more awareness we have, the more empowerment we have. And I think the awareness points to who we are, what our truth is. So that's where I begin every program that I offer, is helping women get to know their truth, not the story, not the negative thoughts and the beating myself up, but the truth of who they truly are and how they want to show up in the world. For example, I just had one client, this came to mind as you were talking. She wanted to take care of her body, and she wasn't eating well. She wasn't getting up and exercising. And when we really got down to why, it was because she was coming at it from a place of fear, a place of I'm not good enough, a place of I'm not enough. Like, I need to get up and exercise tomorrow morning because I ate so horribly. I need to punish myself tomorrow with exercise. Or I'm not dating anyone right now, and that's because I'm overweight. And so I need to exercise tomorrow so that I can lose weight so somebody will love me. Or I need to love myself, and I need to, the only way to love myself is when I lose 10 pounds. Okay. So everything that she was doing to try to motivate herself to get up and go out the door for a walk was from this place of fear. So we took a look at that and we kind of broke it down, and I helped her to walk through a process where she was understanding how to come from a place of love. And so we got to know, what is it what fills you up, and how do you make this decision from a place of love and understanding of who you are, and feeling good about yourself and treating yourself with love because who doesn't want to take care of something that they love?
Right.
And then from that place, guess what? She's texted me almost every morning since. And she's gotten up for a walk. She's going. It's not because of fear.
Right.
It's because she's coming from a place of love and alignment. And this honors who she saw herself as.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she's using as motivation. And that's the true motivation, not the fear of not being good enough.
Yes. It's almost like it's a soul motivation as opposed to like a mental
Mm-hmm.
motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes from a totally different place.
Totally
Yeah, I
different
think
place.
if we understood that our well-being, it's deeply affected even more so by the way we feel, right, about something, as opposed to like we feel like we think that we have to push through something, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
so used to
Mm-hmm.
being fighters and like just push through it. It's okay, but that never works. It
Mm-mm.
really doesn't. I mean, we might get fit, but
Mm-hmm.
it's, internally, spiritually, emotionally, we're not healthy
Mm-hmm.
because it's not coming from an aligned, like you were saying, a place that is aligned and peaceful
Mm-hmm.
and loving towards ourselves.
Yeah. Well, and I think I loved what you said at the beginning, that this is such a tricky topic, self-love. Um, because I see that a lot with the women that I work with. Like, well, yeah, I love myself, and that means I'm just going to go eat whatever I want because I love myself. Or I love my body, and so I'm going to go and treat it however I want because I want to, and because I want to, I love my body. And what what is a little bit tricky about that is it's not so what our body looks like is not important, but how we take care of it is important.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else we can kind of let go of. But if we're taking care of our body, and I take a lot, I actually just did a workshop this last weekend with a group of women and young girls, helping them to learn how to choose how to feed their body from a place of love and
Mm-hmm.
compassion. And when you really get to know and listen to your body, you're choosing foods that feel good. You're not choosing an Oreo.
Right.
You really aren't.
Like
I've
naturally you're not choosing it.
naturally, yeah, intuitively,
Right.
you're never choosing an Oreo when you are feeling aligned and in flow and good about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's the difference. That's the shift. I mean, that's a place that we want to get to because that's a peaceful place. It's not a forced place. There's nothing
Mm-hmm.
we have to, there's no class we have to take or a book that we have to read. It just naturally becomes, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And if we want to have the Oreo or it's sporadically, whatever, it will come from a
Absolutely.
place of like, you know what? I want an ice cream and I'm going to enjoy it.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. And that's, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's been times that I've sat down with my son and we've enjoyed ice cream together, but it was intentional.
mm-hmm.
It was, I'm choosing this. It's not a knee jerk reaction because I better eat sugar as fast as I can because I'm not going to have it tomorrow. You
Right.
know, I'm, I'm, I'm choosing to enjoy the moment. I'm present with my son. I'm present with the ice cream. I'm present with my body. And it's a beautiful experience.
Yes, yes. I think I mean, it really is the essence of true motivation is to get to a place of self-alignment and self-love and understanding who we are and listening to our
Mm-hmm.
own internal guidance instead of
Mm-hmm.
like thinking that we have to come up with it from here. Oh,
Exactly.
because I think we do that. That's what I'm hearing in the examples and stories that you're sharing with us. We have to come up with, oh, in order to stay motivated, what I'm going to do is feel like crap about myself. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's all from the head. So
Yeah.
even that discernment between like, okay, what's my internal guidance telling me? And let's shut this up for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And, and then really tap into like, what's my true motivation? Because that's the
Mm-hmm.
one that is going to be long lasting, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. That's wonderful. Oh,
Love it.
I love it. I love it. So we said awareness. Let's give our listeners like some practice tips.
Mm-hmm.
Awareness is one of them, understanding like
Mm-hmm.
when my head is talking, when my internal guidance is talking. What do
Mm-hmm.
we do though? What do we do when that voice says like, oh gosh, you're so disgusting, you're never going to stick to that?
Mm-hmm.
What do we do in that moment?
I think we get quiet in that moment and we come out of our head and into our heart. And a lot of one thing that um, I actually just at the workshop, this is what I took the women through as well. Um, just find one word. What is one word that describes how you feel when you're in alignment with your best self? Whether that's powerful, joyful, at peace, just find that word and then just get quiet and really just kind of feel that word in your body. And so when you're in this place of you're not good enough, you're disgusting, why are you still doing this? You can pull yourself out of that by just coming into the feeling in your body of peace. Or oftentimes it starts with gratitude. If you can't find that feeling in that moment because the other feelings are so strong,
Mm-hmm.
you can notice that you're in it, right?
Yes.
First step is awareness, notice
Yeah.
that you're in it.
Yeah.
And then you focus your attention on something in your environment that brings you gratitude or joy. Sometimes it can be just sunlight coming through the window. Sometimes it can be a picture of your son or your daughter. Sometimes it can be a memory of your best friend. Whatever that is, just bring in something in your environment that creates a feeling of gratitude in you. You can list off 5 things that you're grateful for that day, but that shift from I'm disgusting, why am I doing this? I'm never going to get it right. And that
Yes.
feeling of hopelessness and helplessness that comes with that, shifting into gratitude from that place is powerful.
Yes. Yes,
And
because it
then from
changes our whole
there,
vibration, right? So
completely. And then from there, you can ask, okay, now what choice do I have? What choices are available to me? Because when you're stuck in those, I'm disgusting, I'm horrible, why am I doing this? You're in fight or flight. You're in
yes.
survival. So you won't have any other options. It's going to feel like the only option is to go into the pantry and raid the chocolate
Right. We
chips.
have no access to anything else
No,
other than the
no.
story.
So that's why when you switch into gratitude, you can get out of the fight or flight
I
and
love it.
access more of the choice.
I love the finding the word. For me, the word that came up is happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Happy is like, yeah, it's the word. I love that. I love that. And like you see, we can use so many practices to bring us back.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the many advantages of working with someone like yourself, Misty. So thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thank you.
yeah. And so everybody that is listening in, if you feel in your heart like you are identifying some of these stories and you would like them demystified or simplified, like you see behind Misty, reach out to her because she gives you like a discovery call for absolutely free. You get to know her, she gets to know you, and see what are the possibilities. Just take her up on it. And where can they find you?
Yeah, find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook. You can instant message me. I've had several people reach out that way. So yeah, find me and let's chat. There's nothing. You just feel even a little prick in your heart. You're like, I'm not even really sure what it is that I'm going to talk about. I just know that I need to talk to somebody.
Yes.
Reach out.
And that's such a great point. You don't have to know. It's
Mm-mm.
not about knowing, it's about like if you feel it, take
Do
action.
it.
You won't
Mm-hmm.
regret it. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much, Misty, for
Yeah, you're
helping us
welcome.
understand on a deeper level what true motivation is. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, you're welcome. It was a pleasure being here today.
Well, we'll see you on the next one then.
Will do.